I'm going to read to you today a spin-off of a fairy tale called Sleepless Beauty. Let's see if you can think about what fairy tale this is based upon. A text-to-text connection, right? A book-to-book connection. Rooty tooty toot, booty tooty tooty. Here comes the story of the Sleepless Beauty. The day I was born, I was such a cutie. Mom and Dad called me their own little beauty. They actually named her their little beauty. My parents were so happy to welcome baby me, they planned a birthday party in apartment suite 3D. They made sure the cheery news was spread throughout the town. Just take a bus or subway, and you're welcome to come down. All our friends and relatives came to the celebration, but the witch from down the block did not receive an invitation. The witch was just too wicked to rate an invitation. Do you know what fairy tale this is yet? Let's keep going and see if you know. I think you're going to find out pretty soon. The evening of the party, she showed up nonetheless. Rats and mice played hopscotch in the pockets of her dress. The guests crowded our apartment. The witch didn't seem to mind them. She simply pushed through to the front, though she started way behind them. She came over to my cradle, and she gave me a big kiss. She said, "Here is my present for the pretty little miss." The witch said, "Now you listen up, for here's the gift I bring her. On the 14th happy birthday, little Beauty'll prick her finger. Then Beauty and her parents and everyone who's near will fall asleep and stay asleep for a whole 100 years." Wow, who would want to stay asleep for 100 years? The guests yelled, "You are evil, and it really isn't fair." "Okay then," said the wicked witch, "I'll show you that I care. Just to prove that I am not so mean and that I'm not so snooty. When time is up, a great rock star will wake the sleeping beauty." It says booty toot toot and tooty fruity. How does that grab you, dear little beauty? Do you know what fairy tale it is now? Sleeping Beauty, if you guessed that was true. So I can make a lot of text-to-text connections with this fairy tale and that one. I didn't understand at first, for I was just a child, but the witch's scary present nearly drove my parents wild. They thought about it for a while, and this is what they planned. Sharp things wouldn't be allowed to touch my little hand. They threw out all the knives and forks, the scissors, every pin, and everything that they could think might prick my tender skin. Mom and Dad thought Beauty had the softest little skin. Look at all the things they threw out. Oh my, because they were worried about her being sleepless forever. Based on what the witch said, right? As I grew up, I noticed, though they wouldn't tell me why, that I couldn't sew on buttons or slice an apple pie. I couldn't cut collages, I couldn't skate on ice, I couldn't use a pencil till someone used it twice. I couldn't get a manicure, I couldn't cut my hair. Father couldn't shave his face, but still, he didn't care. Look at his big beard, that's funny. I don't think Mr. Harthorne would care either. I definitely have a text-to-self connection there. He wouldn't mind not shaving it at all. He didn't care at all because he knew what was at stake. Her mom and dad tried everything to keep themselves awake. Oh no. Disco Dynamite is what the record says. Those are old-fashioned records. Now we use CDs or we use iTunes, right, my friends? It's funny how things change. Technology changes quickly. Then on my 14th birthday, my heart went boom, boom, boom. I saw a creepy woman. She was sitting in my room. I admit that I was scared that she might be the witch. I made a little plan, but there could be a hitch. Who are you? I asked her. What are you doing here? I'm delivering your present, and this is it, my dear. And then she showed me something that was black and flat and round. It's an old-time vinyl records. Let's listen to the sound. Take a hold of the needle on that doodad over there and put it on the record. That's if you're not too scared. So this is a record player, and that's what she's playing the record on. Like I said, old technology, my friends. Uh-oh. I think I can make a prediction as a good reader. What's going to happen next? Well, yes, I touched the needle, and then I shouted, ouch! I've hurt my little finger. So I sat down on the couch. Aha! Cackled the wicked witch. I've done my duty. Good night now for 100 years. Sleep well, my sleeping beauty. She vanished in a cloud of smoke, and I yawned very deeply. I had to take a little nap. Suddenly, I was sleepy. Uh-oh, I can predict what's going to happen based on the real story. I wonder if this is going to be the same. Oh, no. Mom and Dad were snoring loud. So were the dog and cat. Even a tiny little mouse was sleeping on the mat. Although they couldn't hear me, good night to you, I said. I put on my pajamas, and then I went to bed. See you in 100 years, sweet dreams, little beauty. And here's all the Z's, so someone's sleeping at her mom and dad, right? Oh, look at the castle they live in. My goodness. So 100 years we think is passing by because she's fast asleep because she pricked her finger. Next morning, bright and early, as always, I awoke. Oh, wait a second. I saw my parents sleeping. I thought it was a joke. Wake up, I shouted. You've slept enough, I'd say. What year is it? Asked my mother. Same year as yesterday. We didn't sleep 100 years. The witch didn't us no harm. She couldn't, I said proudly, 'cause I set the alarm. Ah, different spin on this ending. I couldn't make that prediction. Were you as surprised as I was? Yes, folks, I was awakened by the tuneful sound of rock, sung by my favorite rock star on my personal radio clock. Tickety-tock, tickety-tock. 3 cheers for this little beauty and her trusty radio clock. Then Mom and Dad went off to work, but before I went to school, I sat right down to write a note to the rock star. It was cool. My pleasure. I'm glad, he said. So let's read her note. Dear rock star, thank you for helping me. And he says, my pleasure. I'm glad. I thanked him lots for helping me, to fool the wicked stranger. He wrote back, it's my pleasure, gal. I'm glad you're out of danger. Says Rudy Toot Toot and a Rudy Kazootie. This concludes the story of the Sleepless Beauty. Wait, Beauty, I have a question before you go away. What happened with the rock star? Oh, we met one day. And then what happened? Guess. You both lived happily ever after? That's the way fairy tales end, right? Let's see if this is right. Yes. Oh, one prediction I was actually right on.